think the drought is finally ending, and that's good news because I've been able to be out in the garden just enjoying it. I haven't done that in a while. It's allowed me to go back and think about some of the things I used to do as a kid in the garden. Thought I'd share some of that with you today. As much as I enjoy all of the things that I do in the garden, as far as planting, actually getting the seeds started, watching them grow, that was not what I enjoyed when I was a kid. My favorite part being in the garden when I was a kid was eating all the stuff. And especially, we had a lot of berries. And so I am excited that I get to share with you the fact we have some berries here. Now, they have been picked over pretty well. The kids were here for Memorial Day, some of them. Oh, that one's not quite ready. Oh no. Okay, I'll hold on to that one. Try a different one. We've got at least a few I can try to pick. Get a little snack. This is what I used to do when I was a kid, was just come out and find the ones that were ripe. And have a little bite in the garden, look them over, hope there's no bugs. And then just pop them in. Little tasty sweet snack. And it's nostalgic. Because even though that's not the first time that I've had a raspberry out of my garden this year, it is one of the few times that I've eaten it right off the bush. Because there's just not a whole lot of them this year. But it does kind of take me back to when I was a kid, when we used to just go out and pick berries and eat them by the handful. I don't really remember us growing blackberries, but we grew black raspberries when I was a kid. I'm going to have a lot of blackberries this year. And I wish some of those were ripe to show you, but I think I still have probably another couple of weeks at least before these are starting to be ready to pick. But it should be a bumper crop this year. And I think that'll be a good thing. So one of the other things that we always like to talk about is how people's grandmas would sit on the porch with them, snap beans and shell peas. Around here, my peas do not make it all the way to the porch most of the time. My peas end up getting eaten right here in the garden with me. And they're getting pretty big, even for the short little bit of time that it has been since I picked them last. But there you go. Can't beat that little snack right out of the garden. And I do need to pick these, take them in and cook them for dinner, because they are growing fast. And here very soon their time will be done, because even though it's been dry, it has been too hot, and now we're getting a lot of water. You can see that some of these leaves are telling me pea season will be ending soon. I'm gonna enjoy it while it's here. I have planted just a ton of stuff in this garden, all kind of together. Keep a little bit of variety going. No idea what will do well, what won't, but I know that something will. And I just enjoy watching it grow. One of my first gardens ever was a salad garden that I grew all by myself in a little raised bed. And I took my little bit of produce to the farmer's market with my dad. I about bet you that it was not because it was great produce that the people bought it there. I think it was because it was a cute little 7 or 8 year old kid selling it. But I still grow salad gardens now. And here it is. Tomatoes that I planted on purpose, along with ones that came up unexpectedly, but I'm just letting them grow. Underneath those tomatoes, my lettuce is here, some carrots. And that way it's a living mulch, so I don't have to come out and weed very often. It's just kind of full of a little bit of everything. But I'll be picking salads on that for at least probably another month or so. And the tomatoes will be coming in just about any time now, because I have got my first little tomatoes right here. And they should be ready to pick in just a couple weeks. The hardest part is the waiting. Same thing over here with my squash. The biggest problem with this squash is I have started to find some squash bugs trying to come in. And I can show you kind of what I did with those yesterday. But I haven't seen more than one on it today. And I'll keep picking him over and watching for him, because I do not want to lose this squash. Even though it's only just starting to grow, and there's only just a couple little baby squash on there, It may not even do anything yet. I want to give them the best chance I can. Not the world's greatest placement for them, but I didn't have space for them in the rest of my garden when I first put them out. They'll do something here. One thing I didn't have when I was growing up was a greenhouse. And I've not had one for very long in my adult life, but I've really enjoyed it. So I'll give you a little overview real quick. The seed starting is going on for mostly squash and melons, things that I don't really want to put out and let the bugs find too early. A lot of these things are getting ready to go out, so my greenhouse will mostly be empty within the next week or so. And we'll just kind of go from there. I've gotten to be out in the garden, enjoying the garden just for itself. Not having to worry about getting the hose out, wondering where the next little bit of water's coming from for my garden. Being able to actually get my hands in the dirt, because it has been really hard to get through that dry soil, even with me watering. Get some things planted, watch some things coming up. And really, I think I'm ready for the next part of the season. But I'll still remember the past. I'm just so very thankful for the rain that we have had. It's kind of helping bring my garden back where I don't have to stand out here with the water hose. Things get a chance to thrive in the way that they were meant to. And hopefully it'll kickstart it to where in the next few days, next couple weeks, you won't even be able to recognize it compared to what it looks like now. Because once things do start growing, this is just the early stages. And you give it a few weeks, it'll look more like what I planted there a few weeks ago. And that's for me the importance of doing things in stages, because right now I couldn't keep up with this whole garden if I tried to plant it all at once. And hopefully I'll have a lot of good produce, but it's going to have to be one little bit at a time. Because even though I used to be able to do this whole garden without giving it a second thought, I'd spend all day out here bent over everything, kneeling down, digging in the dirt. I'm not at that point anymore in my life, and that's okay. I'm looking at this as a long haul, not a little short sprint, and I'll be planting all summer long. We start out with this little promise for some blooms later on in the year, and in the meantime we get to enjoy the ones that are here until they're done. And it's all just one wonderful big cycle. And I gotta remember to take the time to not only remember the things from the past, but to enjoy the things that are here right now, waiting for me to just appreciate them. Much as I appreciate the way that you're here today with me, looking at all the pretty things in my garden. And I hope that you found some inspiration and have found a way to go out in your own world and plant a little bit of hope, because we all need it.